everyone, and welcome back to twitch.tv/AWS.
Hey.
We're here recapping today. We will be streaming tomorrow, but it will only be summaries of the best clips. So this is our last kind of live recap. I'm here with Adrian, Ian, and Randall. Who wants to start? Who wants to say their favorite part of today or start off a recap? We're all
I'll let
very
you guys
tired,
go.
by the way.
I have some things I want to say at the end, but
Okay. For me, I think we kind of challenged the laws of physics during reInvent, especially with the database space, right? So with DynamoDB global tables, Aurora,
Although
serverless.
the networking team did tell us that they could not, in fact, defeat the
Right.
laws of physics right now,
That's
but they're
right.
working on it.
And I mean, also, there was a feature released last night that was quite silent. Vpc Peering between regions. I think this is the kind of features I love. So if you haven't heard about it, I really suggest you go have a look at it.
Cool.
I think one of my favorite actually this year in general was that we repeated a bunch of sessions that had a ton of interest, because I know sometimes there's too many sessions for one person to humanly go to in a reInvent. So I actually really like that we repeated the ones that were really popular. So people had a second chance to make it to a lot of the sessions, especially with the new ones.
Yeah.
So I know that we repeated the ECS and the EKS and the Fargate sessions, which I think really helps people get into the content that they're interested about.
Yeah, I think that's great. I was just chatting to a member of the Alexa team, and she told me that she'd been and repeated the same session 4 times because there's so much demand from customers to learn more
great.
about the voice models in Alexa, which I think is great.
So,
Yeah, so my favorite part of the show this year was actually Werner's keynote this morning. I thought the way that it was restructured, so it wasn't a series of service announcements, was really, really, really interesting, kind of getting back to basics and talking in a lot of detail about how customers put AWS to work in real detail. I thought that was really excellent. And of course we had 3 amazing young women engineers on the stage as well, including Abby on my right, Nora Jones from Netflix, and another female SDE from the
Claire
Cloud9
Ligori.
team, Claire, yeah. So I thought that was absolutely great to see us putting this young female talent at the front of the show for a change,
and
because
that
these
was
events
amazing,
are too
yeah.
often dominated by men in the keynote program. So that was cool, I thought.
I think Werner had a really good quote on that when all 3 of us were done. That was, "Don't let anyone tell you that there aren't any rock star female engineers out there,
Absolutely.
because I have no trouble finding them." so the gauntlet has been thrown. Thank you, Werner.
Firmly down, firmly down on the floor.
no, that was awesome, to be honest. Yeah, it's great.
I'm really focused on the services, obviously, and I got to say there's some of them this year that I just absolutely fell in love with. Cloud9 as a new IDE has taken my breath away. SageMaker, I think, just transforms the machine learning space and makes it accessible to both enterprises and startups.
That's true.
It's a huge, huge advance in terms of the end-to-end pipeline for artificial intelligence and deep learning and machine learning. And then there are 68 other major announcements.
You're going to go through them all now for us?
It's actually quite
Please list
breathtaking.
us
It's
all of
just
them,
insane.
Randall, in order.
I mean,
as
I can do
fast as
them.
you
But there's inter-region VPC peering. There's DynamoDB global tables, DynamoDB encryption, DynamoDB backup and restore.
Aurora serverless.
Aurora serverless, Aurora
Multi-master.
multi-master,
Yeah, that's awesome as well.
I have
multi-region.
to say also that the Netflix quote that they tweeted back at us about Aurora serverless was just a really great Stranger Things clip. And it
was
said,
that?
it was like, serverless Aurora, and then it was all the from Stranger Things. It was really great. It made me laugh.
We had Fargate, which I think really transforms the
that's
container
true.
space.
Yeah, looking forward to
Recognition
trying it out.
video.
Recognition video. Oh, the whole elemental stack. I
That's
mean,
right, that's right.
the Kinesis video streams.
Yeah.
And we could dive deep on any single one of these. It's just.
If this is the first time you're joining the stream, by the way, if you look at the VOD from yesterday and today, you'll be able to see segments about all of these new services from some of the engineering teams that have built them. So I'd really recommend checking it out if you want to catch up with some of the launches and learn more about some of these topics.
And I really liked as well transcribe and translate, because it's a single API that you can integrate with your application and all make it AI enabled. Like
Yeah, I'm looking to see how customers start to chain these services together to do things in different languages with sentiment analysis, entity extraction. I think it'll be really awesome to see
to
what people build.
comprehend, the transcribe. It's hard for me to remember all of the names. And if you think about the service catalog on Tuesday, and now the service catalog today,
Exactly.
I encourage you guys, go look at screenshots of the AWS console from a week ago. Compare it to the number of services that we have today. 3 days later, and it's just, and we don't wait to launch things, right? We announced a bunch of stuff before reInvent ever got started. And it's not like we're saving this all up every year for reInvent. When something is ready and when we think the customers are going to be able to use it, we start putting it out there.
Yep.
So you can expect more announcements. Like, this isn't the end.
Top tip for AWS Console Productivity, by the way, is use search.
Exactly.
Do not hunt icons.
Oh yeah, no, I can't look through the icons fast enough. So I search for what I want, and then I'm a big user of the pinned services on my
on the top there.
on my top bar.
Yeah.
And I would like to say something as well. I mean, this reInvent also has showed up the skills that we have in our team in terms of writing blogs. I mean, we have Brandel here and Tara, and
Yeah.
we have Jeff
Always
Barr
Jeff.
there.
Off camera, but maybe we'll get him up here if we mention his name enough. Jeff Barr,
Jeff
that is.
Barr.
Jeff Barr,
Jeff
Jeff
Barr.
Barr,
Tara,
Jeff
Tara,
Barr,
and
and
Tara.
Tara. I also would like to say too, though, that behind
AWS
every
blog team!
nice hoodie, Jeff.
So they've done amazing job with writing blogs 24/7. It looks like they've done that for the last 6 months. So pretty amazing, really. You've done a great job.
I want to take a moment just to go back and talk about what makes AWS possible. And despite all of the hard work that we do, making these services, making these blog posts, and trying to get that out there, the people who really make it possible are the customers.
Yep.
So at Amazon, it always comes back to the customers. And we would not be building these services if you guys weren't building amazing businesses on top of them. So I want to say thank you for that. And I want to say thank you to all of our Twitch viewers and everybody who's worked so hard to build a product on top of AWS. And I think you guys have done an amazing job. And every time I come to reInvent, every year, I leave inspired and invigorated.
And tired.
And very, very
The
tired.
invigoration comes later. It's more of like it's more of a next week invigoration. And this week I'm like, oh God, I have to go to sleep.
My feet hurt. I need to go to sleep.
I would also say too that behind every blog post and service launch and talk and keynote
a
is
big
there's
team. Yeah,
a
big
slew
team.
of people that are putting in incredibly hard work behind the scenes to make sure that everything in an event this huge with a lot of service launches
43,000 people.
That's right.
is coordinated. So lots of people that you haven't even shown up on camera but are working really, really hard to make everything
Yeah,
work.
it's been an amazing experience as well to see all the project manager come here and talk about their services, and share many of them share personal experience about building those.
And you know that
It's
like
great.
people are doing something right when they build a project and then went out and they were like, I'm also going to do the sessions at reInvent because I'm so into what I built and I'm so into telling people about it that I want to make sure that I tell them the right way and I'm going to go do the sessions myself.
I would like to ask you actually, what was your highlight of the event?
Highlight of the event. Well, I wouldn't pick one service or one activity. It's to me, it's the overall intensity.
Right.
I still remember very, very well the absolute first time I walked into the first keynote session for the first reInvent. We'd been working on AWS for years and years and years, and things are going well, but there's never any actual sense of the magnitude of what you're doing.
That's right.
While you're doing it, you're just in the middle of it, and you're working like crazy, and you're just doing your thing. I remember very well walking into that first keynote, and there's 6,000 chairs set up, and you're like, oh my gosh, AWS is real, and it's an actual big thing. And that 6 year ago moment, I think we did it back in October, so it's a little over 6 years, that still stands out in my mind as kind of, this is real, and this isn't just a bunch of us just sitting at keyboards and typing.
Yeah. And you've been with AWS for quite a while, right?
15 years.
Wow.
Well,
I don't know if you'll miss your purple hair.
Okay, the question about my purple hair, this has been a topic of intense discussion around the dinner table.
I thought I'd make it public and let
Yes.
everyone else know the answer to the question.
At this point, we'll let it kind of naturally fade away. We'll have to have some family debates and discussions to decide exactly how long this to say.
Do you want to say a little bit about the relationship between the color of your hair and your length of tenure? Because people that may not know about that. So.
Good question.
Yeah.
So one of the really neat cultural things at Amazon, we actually don't do a lot of internal recognition. We're pretty humble. We don't talk a whole lot about how awesome we are, but we do like to recognize when things are going well and when someone's been working hard for a certain amount of time. So as you progress in your tenure at Amazon, the color of your badge that you get actually changes, and it just actually turns out that at the 15-year mark, you get a purple badge. And I managed to time a purple badge and purple hair and a purple shirt all together for my latest badge photo. So it was kind of neat to make it all happen simultaneously.
I will say that as amazing as that badge photo is, there is one badge photo at Amazon that I find even more impressive, which is every year this person has had their badge photo retaken, they've taken their old badge in that photo, so they just have this cascading set of badges. Have you seen that?
I have.
It's amazing.
The Inception badge.
The Inception badge, 15 years with Amazon. We could talk about services and stuff, but I know that all of us really want to get to the party.
Start drinking beers.
It's been a very long conference, and Replay is this party. We have DJ Snake. Is there anything else that you guys want to say before I kind of close it out?
I'd like to invite anybody that's in Twitch chat right now to leave us some feedback on the stream. So if you think it's been good, or if you think there are things that we can improve, obviously Rickbot is off screen here, recording all of the chat messages in his AI sentient
We really
matrix.
need to have, I mean, I don't think people even think he's real, so it's
Rick
funny.
is definitely real.
He's human.
But give us some feedback if you feel there are things that we can improve upon. I think we'll probably come back next year. I'm looking at Gina, she's nodding, so I think we'll be here again next year with probably a bigger, better streaming format. But obviously your feedback is invaluable in making this program better and making sure that we're getting the right content for you, the right kind of speakers, the right variety. So if there's anything that you'd like us to focus on in future on Twitch, just let us know and we'll try to do that.
The only thing I really just wanted to say, because this team is fantastic, I will say, I get to work with some of the most brilliant, bright people ever. And while that's cool, the better thing about and what makes this possible is that we really support each other. So I want to say thank you for all these guys for the hard work and picking us up when we were like tired and about to fall down. So
there
we
were
really
days
enjoyed it.
where Tara and I were like falling over asleep, and Gina, who's our fearless producer, brings us onto the stage and is like, here you go, start talking.
Here's some caffeine.
So, okay.
We solved it by buying more Diet Coke for back there.
What I'd like to do is I'd like to invite Gina and Rick and everybody who helped support the Twitch stream. If you guys come on stage, we'll just close out reInvent here.
Come on, Julia, hurry up.
Start the party.
Woo!
Danilo.
Woo!
Where's
Rick
Danilo?
is real.
Where's the rest of the crew?
Rick is real.
Thanks for joining us this week, guys. We really appreciate it.
All right, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you again next
See you
year.
next year.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.